Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be going over the exclusive buyer agency agreement. So let's get started. The first line we're going to get to is the date. All contracts need a date, so make sure you put in whatever date you are entering into the contract. We're going to put today's date. And this agreement is between you, the buyer, and the firm. Not yourself and the buyer, but the buyer and the firm. So we're going to put in your client's full legal name. It's always a good idea to use their full legal name. Because these are legal documents. Next is the firm's name. I'm going to put in my firm, which is the NC. I cannot spell, so pardon my errors. NC Real Estate Firm, LLC. Next, we're going to go down to the type of property your client is looking for today. Residential, commercial, or other, which could be maybe a rental or... Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be going over the exclusive buyer agency agreement. So let's get started. The first spot we come to that we need to fill in is the date. So don't forget to put in the date. A lot of agents, for whatever reason, they forget to put this in. Please don't forget. I am a little OCD with contracts and filling out every single line. So just be sure to put the date in. Next is your buyer's name. Put in their legal name. We are going to use Judson and George. Judson. You always want to put each individual name. You don't want to put Jane and George Judson. Put each individual person who's going to be, who you're working with on the contract as a separate person. Next line is the firm. This contract is actually between the firm and the buyer, not you and the buyer. So go ahead and put the name of your firm in. Mine is the NC Real Estate Firm, LLC. Next, we're going to come to the type of property that your client is looking for. Residential, commercial, or other. Other could be maybe a rental property. But today we're gonna do residential. And general location, I always like to use general location on these documents because I only have to fill it out once. If you have a client who is looking at multiple homes, especially in today's market, today is June 9th, 2021, it's crazy. So you want to use this document over and over again instead of filling out a new one every time. So we're just going to put general location, Wake County, and surrounding areas. Other location would be the specific property address. Again, you can do that if you want to. I don't like to narrow it. I just like to have this contract if we're going to be, because I'm going to be putting this contract into all of my files. So I don't want to have to redo a new one every time my client looks at a new property. So we're just going to use the general location. Term of agreement. So the term of this agreement shall begin on. You could, I guess they give you a new date down here. Maybe your clients are from out of town and they want to work with you, but they're not going to move here. Or you have a seller and they're looking, but they want to, you have a client that's selling their home, but they don't want to use you just yet or be your, I don't know. But you can date it however. Again, I always date it the same day as I'm doing this. And it can, so we're going to leave it at that. And then you have two boxes to check. They changed this. This is on the updated form. This is for buyers who intend to intend to purchase a single property or for buyers who may purchase more than one property. So maybe you're working with an investor. So you want to, again, use this on multiple transactions. So you could check that box and then say that it'll terminate in 1 day, 30 days, 60 days, 6 months, a year. That's between you and the client to figure out how long you want this contract to last. But for this purpose, we're going to say, our buyer's going to just purchase a single property, and it's whatever comes first, either when your client actually closes on a property or when this contract runs out. So I always like to put contracts for about 6 months. But again, that's between you and the client. You can put whatever day you would like. Just make sure it is long enough so while you're still working with your client, this contract is still usable. Next is compensation to firm. This is for some agents actually do ask their clients for a non-refundable retainer fee, which is perfectly fine in North Carolina. Again, all of this information is for North Carolina, so please keep that in mind. This would be, I had one agent that was at our firm, I think she still is at our firm, that would ask all of her clients, I'm going to be showing you all these houses. My time is worth money. I charge them all $100 for me to show you houses. Most of her clients were perfectly happy giving her $100. They understood that her time is worth something, and they didn't want her running around for free. Basically, and again, as all of you in North Carolina know, we get paid when the house closes, and we get paid by the seller in North Carolina. So this was her way of kind of ensuring that, her time is worth something, and her clients were more than happy to oblige. So just make sure that you keep it the same for every client. You cannot, you don't want to get yourself in trouble by saying, oh, I only charge some people $100 and I only charge some people $50, because you get a lot of trouble with that. So make sure you keep it fair across the board. You either don't charge or you charge everybody the same fee. This client, I'm going to put $0 because I don't do that. And I'm going to say shall not be credited towards any compensation due to the firm under this agreement. With our firm, they did take 10% of her retainer fee. So she would put shall be credited toward any compensation due to the firm. Next is the buyer agrees that the firm's fee for services shall be in the amount of. Again, in North Carolina, you don't know what your fee is going to be. So I like to put per the MLS. Meaning whatever it says on the MLS at the time you put in your offer. Because, again, we get paid by the seller in North Carolina. So you don't know what your fee is going to be until you actually are under contract and close on the house. So that's what I put. I put per the MLS. Down here in this section, I'll go back. This is still under compensation of firm. So there's this little section in here that talks about if this contract expires and your client finds or purchases a house that you previously showed them, you can go back and say, hey, I showed you this house. I should get, compensation for showing you this house. And that's where this little section comes into play. I like to put 30 days, but you can do 90, you can put 60. It's totally up to you. I like to put 30 because I feel like, it keeps doing that. I feel that any longer, obviously if they didn't contact you after this expired to do a deal on the house, maybe you just weren't a good fit, or maybe they didn't know, which is totally fine, but I would just like to put 30 days. So if it does happen, if they do purchase a house, you can go back and say, hey, you signed this agreement, and possibly get some compensation for the house that they did buy when they saw it with you. As we scroll down, you're going to come to other professional advice section, number 10, and you are going to want to click all 3 of these boxes. You're always going to want to give your clients this. It's just being a good realtor, and I mean, you should. These are sample copy of an offer to purchase, sample copy of a professional services disclosure, and the brochure on questions and answers on home inspections. Again, it's always a good idea to give your clients all 3 of these. You should do it as just something that you automatically do every time you send this document to be signed. Some people want to look over, it saves time by giving them these samples to look for ahead of time, because as we know, in today's market, it's insane. So you don't want your client trying to ask you all these questions or getting confused when they're looking at an offer to purchase and trying to sign it, and you're under a deadline wanting to get your contract in. This way your clients can look over it and they won't be surprised by anything that they see. They'll already have all their questions answered. So yeah. Next is home warranty. Some firms will buy home warranties for their buyers or sellers. Some agents will do it as gifts to their clients. We do not do that. But if you did, you would put the fee of the home warranty in here, which is between, or we'll put one in, between $450 to $600 on the high end. Again, you don't have to do it. This is by a agent to agent basis, a firm basis. Ask your firm, make sure and see if they require this or they offer it. Additional provisions section. This would be if your firm if your firm requires admin fees, maybe there's other fees that they tack on to it, or maybe in this section you could put, actually I have notes, so give me a minute. That the buyer, this is where you would say maybe the buyer's agent pays for the home warranty. It's kind of, you can put anything here, any notes that you would want your client to know about, any fees that they may have to pay that aren't in any other contract, or fees that your firm will be collecting. That's what you would put there. Our firm doesn't collect any other fees or admin fees, so we're just going to put NA for that one. Next is, we're still, okay, now this is dual agency. Sorry, we've moved on. This is dual agency. Ideally, you want your client to sign the first line, this one right here. You want them to initial. They authorize you to act as a dual agent. I actually did run into a client who was not very happy about it, just because they didn't think it was on the up and up, I guess, because I would know both sides of the deal, which is fine. Some people are like that, and if they choose not to, then you just have them initial on this second section right here, that the buyer desires exclusive representation. But have them, tell them that if you do get into a situation where you are representing both the seller and the buyer, that you could go to a designated agent option, meaning you could ask 2 other agents at your firm, hey, I have this deal, can you guys please work it out? And then I'll take it from there once you've figured out all the financials and everything. And in that case, then you would come back and amend this contract and have them initial the designated agent option. Dual agency compensation, again, that goes to what we just talked about. And this would be you saying the firm, how much are you going to pay the dual agents? Are you going to pay them $150 or $500 for taking care of that for you? This is where you would put that information. And next, we're just kind of filling out the rest. That was the whole contract. We're going to put in the client's name. And again, I'm a stickler for, it's like a little OCD. I want every single spot filled out that can be filled out on contracts. So that's what I do. And it's just being good. It looks professional. It looks like you know what you're doing. So we're going to fill everything out. address, we're going to do 123 Milky Way, Mars, and they live in outer space. Okay, and then again, the husband, George Jetson. And his home phone number is going to be the same, so we're just going to copy and paste. And take mail.com. Having issues today. And say mailing address. Now, this next section is if you were working with a corporation, an LLC, a trust, if a business was buying a piece of property or a home, this is where you would put all that information. So it could be ABC Landscaping LLC. You would put, obviously, again, the date. I'm just filling this out just to show you what you would put where. The name is going to be the person that is responsible for signing this document. Whether it's the president, the CEO, if it's an LLC, it's usually the member or manager, something like that. So we'll just say Bob Smith is the owner and he is the managing member. Again, put all of his information in. Oh, too many. Bob@gmail.com. And then the mailing address would be the business mailing address. So wherever ABC Landscaping has their business, their physical location or office location. No, I'm sorry. That's wrong. It says mailing address. Put their mailing address. Sorry, I need more tea this morning. So we're going to say 123 Main Street. Okay, next is where you, the agent, are going to fill out this information. Don't leave this blank. This drives me crazy. If for whatever reason, the seller needs to get a hold of you, can't find your information or whatever, it's just good. Please fill out everything on this. Put your firm name, the firm license number. The firm phone number would be either if you have obviously an office number or it would be the office number. This is our Bix phone. Well, this isn't our Bix phone number. I'm just typing in whatever. Office address. And then individual license number. The date that you're signing, your phone number. I'm not putting in my real phone number, so please don't call this number. I have no idea who it goes to. And that's it. That's the whole contract. Only 6 pages. Once you fill it out a couple times, it's super simple. It's super easy. And there you go. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comment section. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, follow, all that kind of good stuff. I will be doing all the contracts, so just be patient with me. I'm just getting started. I hope you liked it. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them for you. Please be nice, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.